What if I told you that the woman everyone thought was crazy was actually the victim? And the man everyone trusted was hiding a nightmare behind a perfect smile. A struggling young woman takes a job inside a millionaire's mansion. The wife acts unstable. The husband looks like a hero. But before this story ends, someone will be trapped, someone will die, and the entire truth will flip upside down. This is The Housemaid. And trust me, the final twist changes everything. The story begins with Millie. She's desperate. She needs money. She needs stability. And most importantly, she needs a second chance. Her past has made finding work almost impossible. So when she receives an opportunity to work as a live-in maid for an extremely wealthy family, it feels like a miracle. The house itself looks perfect. Massive rooms, expensive furniture. Everything seems straight out of a luxury magazine. The family appears perfect too. A successful husband, a beautiful wife, and their young daughter. But sometimes the most dangerous places are the ones that look the safest. And Millie is about to learn that lesson the hard way. At first, the job seems easy. Clean, cook, help around the house. Simple. But strange things start happening almost immediately. The wife, Nina, behaves unpredictably. One moment she's friendly, the next moment she's angry. Then suddenly she's acting as if conversations never happened. Millie begins questioning herself. Did she misunderstand? Did she remember something incorrectly? Or is Nina deliberately trying to confuse her? The household feels tense, like everyone is hiding something. And the more time Millie spends inside the mansion, the more uncomfortable she becomes. But she can't leave. She needs the job, so she keeps working, even when every instinct tells her something isn't right. And that's when she starts paying closer attention to Nina. The more Millie observes Nina, the more convinced she becomes that something is seriously wrong. Stories begin surfacing about Nina's past. Rumors, disturbing incidents, things that make her look unstable, even dangerous. Millie starts believing what everyone else believes, that Nina is the problem. And standing in complete contrast to Nina is Andrew, the husband. He's calm, successful, polite. Everything about him screams trustworthy. Whenever Nina causes chaos, Andrew seems to be the one cleaning up the mess. So naturally, Millie begins sympathizing with him. And that is exactly what makes the next twist so effective. Because the movie wants viewers to trust Andrew, just like Millie does. But the truth has been hiding in plain sight the entire time. As tensions inside the house grow, Millie becomes more emotionally connected to Andrew. She starts seeing him as someone who understands her, someone who sees her struggles, someone different from everyone else. Meanwhile, Nina's behavior becomes increasingly erratic. Arguments become more frequent. The atmosphere inside the mansion becomes unbearable. Eventually it reaches a breaking point. The family appears to be falling apart, and Millie finds herself caught directly in the middle. But while Millie thinks she's moving toward freedom, she's actually walking straight into a trap. Because someone inside this house has done this before, many times, and they know exactly how to manipulate people. Then comes the moment that changes the entire movie. The story suddenly reveals information that forces viewers to reconsider everything they've seen. Nina isn't the monster. She's the victim. The real danger is Andrew, the charming husband, the seemingly perfect man, the person everyone trusted. For years, he has controlled and manipulated the people around him. He carefully constructed an image of the perfect family man while hiding a much darker reality behind closed doors. Suddenly, every strange event starts making sense. Every confusing interaction, every warning sign, every uncomfortable feeling. The puzzle pieces finally connect, and Millie realizes she's in far more danger than she ever imagined. Now that the mask has fallen, the true nature of the house becomes clear. This isn't a home, it's a prison, a place built on fear, control, manipulation, and psychological abuse. The movie reveals just how carefully Andrew has maintained his power. He doesn't rely on physical strength alone. His real weapon is manipulation. He makes people doubt themselves, question reality, and eventually become trapped inside his version of the truth. Millie finally understands why Nina behaved the way she did, why she seemed unstable, why nothing ever made sense. Because she wasn't crazy, she was surviving. And now Millie is experiencing the same nightmare for herself. With the truth exposed, the story races toward its explosive ending. Millie can no longer pretend everything is normal. She knows exactly who Andrew is. And Andrew realizes she's no longer under his control. That makes her a threat, a dangerous one. What follows is a tense battle of survival. No one can trust anyone. Every decision could be fatal, and eventually the confrontation reaches its breaking point. The carefully constructed illusion finally collapses. Years of manipulation, years of fear, years of suffering, all crash down in a single moment. And the man who controlled everything finally loses control. The genius of The Housemaid isn't the mystery, it's the perspective. The movie deliberately tricks viewers into making the same mistake as Millie. We trust appearances, we trust confidence, we trust charm, and we doubt the person who looks unstable. But the story asks a simple question. question. What if the person everyone calls crazy is actually telling the truth? By the end, the entire narrative flips upside down. The victim becomes understood, the predator becomes exposed, and the mansion that once looked perfect is revealed as a place built on lies. That's why the final twist hits so hard. Because it doesn't just change the story, it changes everything you thought you knew about the characters. If you enjoyed this recap, like and subscribe Flixiv for more.